They tell you seafood is heart-healthy and smart protein. But what if the fish in your freezer isn't helping your heart but slowly poisoning it? What if that salmon, that shrimp, that bargain cod fillet from your local grocery store is loaded with banned antibiotics, cancer-causing chemicals, or even peeled by trafficked labor halfway across the world every year? Over 80% of seafood sold in the US is imported, and most of it isn't inspected. According to the FDA, only about 2% of foreign seafood shipments are physically examined. That means you could be eating fish laced with formaldehyde, mercury, or bacteria, and never know until it's too late. And here's the terrifying part: some of the most dangerous seafood is sold in the stores we trust the most. So before you buy another frozen fillet, ask yourself, do you really know what's in it, or just what the label wants you to believe? This is the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal. Today, we will break down 10 most trusted grocery stores that you should never buy seafood there, and also many better options you can choose. Let's begin. Number 1, Walmart. It's not just a store, it's where medicine is picked up, groceries are stocked, and life's essentials are made affordable. Walmart has embedded itself into the daily rhythm of working class and retired Americans. Its massive blue signs promise a place where you don't have to choose between feeding your family and paying the bill, with everyday low prices printed like scripture across aisles. Walmart became the safety net for millions. You walk in for cat litter or vitamins, and suddenly a bag of frozen shrimp catches your eyes. Only $7, neatly sealed, backed by a brand you've trusted for decades. But what if that bag isn't a bargain at all? What if it's a ticking health hazard, wrapped in plastic and soaked in deception? Here's what Walmart won't tell you, and what may change the way you shop forever. That shrimp you bought, it may have come from the hands of enslaved men. In 2015, and explosive. Pulitzer Prize-winning report by the Associated Press uncovered horrific conditions in Thai seafood factories supplying shrimp to Walmart. Men were chained, beaten, denied sleep, and forced to peel shrimp for up to 20 hours a day. Their suffering was buried under layers of international trade, and the end result: bags of shrimp on your local Walmart shelf, bought by unsuspecting Americans who had no idea their dinner was built on modern-day slavery. But the outrage doesn't end with ethics. It plunges deeper into your plate. The FDA has repeatedly detained seafood imports from Walmart's main suppliers, Vietnam, India, and Thailand, due to dangerous contamination. Shrimp and tilapia from these countries were found tainted with banned antibiotics like chloramphenicol, a substance linked to fatal anemia and bone marrow failure. One Consumer Reports test even revealed traces of multiple antibiotics in Walmart shrimp, including drugs that are strictly prohibited in American food. And you're not even guaranteed to get what you think you're buying. Walmart has been implicated in fish fraud scandals, where farm-raised fish was disguised as wild caught. A 2013 Oceana investigation found that 1 in 3 seafood items sold in major US supermarkets was mislabeled, and Walmart was a repeat offender. That wild Atlantic salmon fillet you proudly cooked, likely farm-raised, artificially dyed and loaded with contaminants. Step inside the stores, and it gets worse. Health inspection records across states like Florida and Texas show seafood stored above safe temperatures, fish thawed and left out for hours, and cross-contamination with raw poultry, all violations that can lead to E. coli, salmonella, or worse. Walmart calls them isolated incidents, but they keep happening again and again. Even the company's promise of sustainable seafood rings hollow. Greenpeace ranked Walmart dead last in its Carting Away the Oceans report, citing the company's continued ties to fisheries with devastating bycatch, the unnecessary killing of sea turtles, dolphins, and sharks, just to stock shelves cheaply. Walmart built its empire on the trust of America's working poor, then quietly sold them poisoned shrimp, enslaved labor, and bacterial risk in return. If you want seafood that won't cost your conscience or your health, look to H-E-B. This Texas-based grocer prioritizes local sourcing, clean fishing practices, and real transparency. The fish isn't just labeled, it's traceable, respected, and responsibly handled. Walmart once stood for saving money. Now, with every bag of seafood, it may be costing you something far greater. Number 2, Kroger. It looks clean and fresh. It feels like the safe choice. That's the illusion Kroger has perfected over the decades. Their logo is everywhere, from small-town America to big cities, glowing like a beacon of trust. Their shelves are neatly arranged, the seafood aisle chilled and gleaming, And the Simple Truth branding whispers promises of purity and care to the average shopper, especially those battling rising prices on a fixed income. Kroger feels like a blessing of affordable, reliable, and close to home. But step behind the glass doors of the seafood section, and you'll discover a truth so disturbing, it threatens the very health you've been trying to protect. Start with the lies that slip past your cart and into your kitchen. A national seafood fraud investigation by Oceana exposed that up to 1 in every 5 seafood products was intentionally mislabeled. And yes, Kroger was directly implicated. That wild salmon fillet you thought was rich in omega-3s, likely just factory-farmed fish in disguise. Red snapper is often replaced with cheap tilapia dyed red. Some products were even found to be escolar, a fish banned in several countries for causing extreme digestive distress, falsely sold as white tuna. These are not harmless mix-ups, but a whole health risk, buried under layers of corporate deception, aimed at low-income consumers who can't afford to be misled. But it gets darker. In 2022, investigative reports linked Kroger's seafood supply chain to illegal overfishing rings operating in restricted waters. These operations plundered protected marine zones in the Pacific and Indian Oceans, violating environmental treaties and contributing to species collapse. When exposed, Kroger didn't sever ties. They kept stocking these tainted products as if nothing had happened. Then came the poison. Literally. In 2021, Food and Water Watch tested shrimp sold under Kroger's private label. What they found was horrifying residues of nitrofurans and malachite green, chemicals banned in the United States for their cancer-causing properties. These are substances that have no place in any food supply, let alone one advertised as safe. Even the Simple Truth label, marketed as organic, transparent, and responsible, has been exposed. Whistleblowers leaked images of Chinese fish farms supplying Kroger, revealing murky water, overcrowded tanks, and hormone-filled feed. Workers without gloves handled filth-covered fish destined for Kroger's shelves. If that's not enough, in-store inspections across states like Indiana, Georgia, and Kentucky found repeat violations, unsafe storage temperatures, frozen seafood sold as fresh, and raw meats contaminating nearby products. Each infraction increases the risk of listeria, salmonella, and E. coli, infections especially dangerous for seniors and immunocompromised shoppers. Kroger didn't just break your trust. They sold you risk disguised as reliability. If you're looking for real transparency, Sprouts Farmers Market is one of the few chains that prioritize clean sourcing, third-party certifications, and food safety without compromise. The next time you see seafood at Kroger, ask yourself, is this what I want on my plate or what they want me to believe? Number 3, Aldi. You think you've cracked the code? Shop smart, save money. That's the appeal Aldi dangles in front of you. Not through flashy ads or endless aisles, but with a no-nonsense layout and rock-bottom prices that seem too good to pass up. You walk in, grab what you need, and walk out 15 minutes later, having spent half of what you would anywhere else. For older Americans watching every dollar and trying to keep food on the table with a shrinking pension or fixed Social Security check, Aldi feels like a godsend. And when you see frozen salmon or a hefty bag of shrimp for just a few bucks, it feels like you've outsmarted the system. But here's the twist: the system may have outsmarted you, because that bargain you just grabbed from Aldi's freezer could be a time bomb for your health. Beneath the low prices and simple packaging lies a supply chain riddled with deception, contamination, and chemicals that no American should be eating, especially not seniors with fragile health. Start with the origin. A huge portion of Aldi's seafood, particularly frozen shrimp, tilapia, and pangasius, comes from industrial fish farms in Vietnam, Thailand, and China. These operations are notorious for cutting corners, and multiple FDA inspections prove it. In 2020, the FDA blocked shipment after shipment of Vietnamese pangasius, the same kind sold by Aldi, after finding banned antibiotics like chloramphenicol and enrofloxacin, both linked to cancer and immune suppression, in some batches. Inspectors even found residues of formaldehyde, a chemical used to preserve corpses. And what about the conditions where this fish is raised? Environmental groups have documented shocking images: thousands of fish packed into shallow, polluted ponds, water so dark and toxic it bubbles, and workers without protective gear tossing chemical-laced feed into the murk. That's the fish being frozen, boxed, and shipped to Aldi's seafood cases, with labels that say things like sustainably sourced and flash frozen for freshness. Then there's what Aldi doesn't tell you. Many of its seafood products are loaded with sodium triple-phosphate, a chemical that makes fish appear bigger and juicier by absorbing water. For shoppers with kidney problems or gastrointestinal sensitivities, this compound can trigger serious reactions. And while you're paying for fish, a good chunk of your money is actually going toward added water and chemicals, not nutrition. Even worse, the packaging is often designed to mislead, with vague terms like wild caught or farm raised responsibly. Aldi avoids specifics, and audits have shown many of their seafood products lack any traceable sourcing or third-party certification. You're not just unsure of what's in your food, you're being actively kept in the dark. Want seafood that won't gamble with your health? Metropolitan Market offers full transparency, partnering with trusted fisheries in the Pacific Northwest and labeling every fillet with harvest date and method. That's what trust looks like. Aldi says you're saving money, but what you might really be buying is a hidden risk wrapped in plastic, frozen, and shipped straight to your plate. Number 4. Safeway. It feels safe, familiar, like walking into a store you've known for decades. Safeway has long positioned itself as the dependable neighborhood grocer, especially across the western United States, where working families and retirees can shop without worry. Their polished seafood counters, filled with ice and fillets, present an image of care and quality. Many older shoppers truly believe they're making the smart, health-conscious choice when they pick up fish at Safeway instead of grabbing fast food. But behind that cold glass and comforting brand lies something far more alarming: a web of deception, contamination, and corporate neglect that puts your health at risk every time you take home a piece of fish. Let's start with the lie of freshness. A 2021 investigation by the Environmental Defense Fund revealed that Safeway, along with several other large grocery chains, was selling previously frozen fish as fresh, with no label disclosure. In other words, you're paying for something fresh, but what you're getting is defrosted, deteriorating seafood with a drastically shorter shelf life. Even worse, when this fish reaches temperatures above safe levels, bacteria like Listeria and Vibrio can rapidly grow, posing a serious threat to older adults with weakened immune systems. In stores across California, Arizona, and Oregon, undercover shoppers found thawed fish mislabeled as fresh, some still carrying visible ice crystals. But this isn't the only danger lurking beneath the label. Friends of the Earth, a consumer watchdog group, tested store-brand tuna from Safeway and found mercury levels dangerously close to the FDA's legal limit. Their canned albacore, often marketed as a healthy option for seniors with heart concerns, showed mercury readings just below 1 part per million, a level considered risky, especially for elderly Americans, pregnant women, and anyone with neurological sensitivity. Mercury poisoning isn't theoretical, it's real, and it damages the brain and central nervous system, sometimes irreversibly. Then there's the shrimp. Despite years of documented abuse and contamination in Southeast Asian aquaculture, Safeway continues to source shrimp from countries like Vietnam and India. In 2022, the FDA flagged shipments bound for Safeway suppliers after discovering enrofloxacin, a powerful antibiotic banned in U.S. fish farming because of its link to gut flora disruption and antibiotic resistance. These shrimp, dosed with drugs you're never told about, still made it onto Safeway shelves and possibly onto your dinner plate. And if you think the problem stopped there, think again. Internal audits leaked in 2019 showed that certain Safeway locations failed basic food safety checks, improper hand washing, seafood utensils used across meat counters, raw fish stored near leaking chicken packages. One whistleblower said it best: if shoppers saw what actually happens behind the seafood counter, they'd stop eating fish altogether. Safeway also earned a disgraceful D grade on Greenpeace's Seafood Progress Scorecard. The reasons: poor transparency, lack of accountability, suppliers tied to overfished stocks, and destructive trawling methods that not only destroy ecosystems, but also increase the odds that the fish you eat is low quality, sickly, or contaminated. For older Americans trying to eat healthy, stay informed, and lean on brands they thought they could trust, Safeway's betrayal feels personal. It's not just disappointing, it's dangerous. Looking for a place that treats seafood and your health with care? Try Fresh Market. This chain prioritizes certified traceable seafood, small batch deliveries, and in-house quality control. You'll know where your fish came from, how it was harvested, and whether it was previously frozen, all printed on the label. No guesswork required. Safeway promised trust and transparency, but with every unlabeled thawed fillet, every mercury-laced can, and every drug-treated shrimp, that promise is falling apart. Number 5. Food Lion. In towns where neighbors still wave from porches and dollar stores outnumber banks, Food Lion is woven into daily life. With more than 1,000 locations spread across southeastern states like North Carolina, Virginia, and South Carolina, it's not just a grocery store, it's part of the community's rhythm. It's where families go to grab Sunday dinner, where retirees find comfort in weekly seafood sales, and where working people stretch $100 to last through the week. So when a bag of shrimp goes on sale or a plastic-wrapped fillet of fresh catfish sits gleaming on ice, most shoppers don't hesitate. They trust it. It's Food Lion, a name they've relied on for generations. But what if that trust has been deeply, dangerously misplaced? Behind the soft lighting and familiar logo lies a seafood operation riddled with rot, both literal and systemic. Food Lion's fish counters may look unassuming, but they conceal a troubling record of contamination, fraud, and neglect that puts your health in harm's way. Start with the shrimp. In 2020, the FDA issued import alerts on multiple shrimp shipments from Vietnam and India, countries that directly supply Food Lion's seafood department. These shrimp weren't just subpar, they were laced with banned antibiotics like nitrofurans and chloramphenicol, both known to cause cancer and destroy immune function. One batch, distributed by a Food Lion supplier, contained chemical residues over 10 times the legal limit. The result, quiet recalls in southern states and Food Lion's silence. No public warnings, no in-store signs. Thousands of customers, many elderly or immunocompromised, were left completely unaware that their meal may have been toxic. And if you thought mislabeling was rare, think again. A 2018 investigation by Oceana tested fresh seafood at Food Lion and uncovered that over 35% of samples were either mislabeled or unverifiable. What you thought was red snapper, likely tilapia. That wild-caught claim, probably farm-raised. In some cases, dangerous substitutions like escolar, a fish notorious for causing severe digestive distress, were sold under fake names like white tuna. For seniors with sensitive stomachs or health conditions, this isn't just dishonest, it's outright dangerous. But the filth doesn't stop at the label. In 2021, health inspectors across North Carolina documented multiple violations at Food Lion stores: thawed shrimp left unrefrigerated for hours, raw fish stored next to leaking poultry containers, and expired seafood still sitting on shelves. Whistleblower photos show brown, curling fillets, dried out scallops, and bins of fish exposed to flies in back rooms. One former employee in South Carolina revealed they were told to just spray lemon juice on the fish and move it to the front if it looked questionable. That's not food safety. That's covering up rot with citrus. What's worse, Food Lion doesn't even try to tell you where its seafood comes from. While most grocers now offer basic traceability or partner with certification programs like the Marine Stewardship Council, Food Lion offers no public sourcing policy whatsoever. Their private label seafood is a mystery, possibly pulled from dozens of unregulated sources in countries with little to no food safety enforcement. No origin, no oversight, no accountability. This isn't just about buying a bad fish fillet. It's about being betrayed by a system that counts on you not asking questions, because if you knew, you'd never eat from there again. Looking for a safer bet? Try Loblaw's City Market, now expanding into the northern US. This Canadian chain only sells Ocean-Wise approved seafood and tracks every fillet from the ocean to the shelf. Staff are trained to spot bad product and send it back, not dress it up with lemon and hope for the best. Food Lion might feel like home, but when your seafood could be laced with illegal antibiotics, mislabeling, and decay, it's not comfort. It's a health hazard in disguise. Number 6, Target. It looks pristine, it feels premium. And for many older Americans tired of noisy, cluttered supermarkets, Target offers a sense of calm, a place where the lights are soft, the aisles are wide, and the groceries are neatly curated. You might stop in for laundry detergent and find yourself drawn to their Good and Gather seafood packages of salmon, shrimp, and cod wrapped in clean, modern design that whispers quality. Target feels like a safer choice, cleaner, classier, more thoughtful. But that sense of safety, it's a carefully manufactured illusion. And what lies beneath it is far more dangerous than most shoppers realize. Because Target's seafood section, as sleek as it appears, hides a deeply flawed system. A system built on vague labels, shadowy suppliers, and serious health threats that especially endanger older Americans living with chronic conditions. Let's start with the sourcing. In 2019, multiple investigations exposed that Target's frozen shrimp and tilapia were coming from massive aquaculture farms in Southeast Asia, specifically Thailand and Indonesia. These regions have become infamous for human rights abuses, environmental destruction, and chemical-laced farming practices, in a chilling report. The Environmental Justice Foundation linked Target suppliers to Thai fisheries where workers were trafficked, held against their will, and forced to labor 20 hours a day aboard rusted boats with zero protection, zero oversight, and zero dignity. The shrimp they peeled by hand ended up in U.S. stores, including Target. When this news broke, Target didn't sound the alarm. They quietly removed some products without issuing public recalls or warnings. The health risks, however, stayed on the shelves. In 2021, FDA testing detected banned chemicals malachite green and nitrofurans in frozen shrimp sold under private label brands found at Target. These are not harmless additives. These are carcinogens, known to damage the liver, kidneys, and immune system over time, and for seniors, especially those with diabetes, autoimmune issues, or recovering from surgery exposure to such toxins can lead to devastating health consequences. And it doesn't stop there. Target's packaging regularly misleads. Phrases like responsibly sourced and sustainably farmed are printed boldly across boxes, but there's often no third-party certification to back them up. Greenpeace rated Target AC in its Seafood Accountability Report, citing a lack of traceability, enforcement, and supplier transparency. In other words, you don't know where your fish is from, how it was raised, or what it contains. And even the store-level handling is riddled with red flags. Health inspection records across several states have flagged Target locations for improper cold storage, mislabeled thawed fish as fresh, and selling seafood long after its safe consumption date. In 2022, one store in Ohio was cited for storing fish at over 50 degrees Fahrenheit, a breeding ground for bacteria like Listeria and Vibrio, which can be life-threatening for older adults. So while Target may sell comfort, what it's really offering in its seafood section is something far more sinister: corporate negligence dressed up in pretty packaging. Want peace of mind on your dinner plate? Consider Bristol Farms, a California-based grocer committed to ethical sourcing and real transparency. Their seafood is labeled with harvest dates, region of origin, and certification from trusted bodies like the Marine Stewardship Council. It might cost a little more, but what you're paying for is honesty, not poison. Target wants you to trust the bullseye, but behind the brand, your health is what's really on the line. Number 7, CVS. A pharmacy shouldn't be selling seafood, and yet, here we are, tucked beside the painkillers and shampoo. Frozen shrimp and tilapia now sit quietly in CVS freezers, disguised as a convenient option for older adults picking up prescriptions. But what looks easy and harmless may be one of the most dangerous seafood choices in the country. CVS has no seafood department, no traceability, and no trained food staff. In 2020, tests on its gold emblem tilapia revealed high levels of sodium tripolyphosphate, a moisture-retaining chemical linked to digestive inflammation and kidney stress, especially in seniors on medication. Even worse, CVS violates U.S. labeling laws. Many fish lack a country of origin, meaning your fillet might have come from polluted ponds in China flagged by the FDA. Photos from an Indiana CVS in 2019 showed thawing seafood left unrefrigerated for hours with temperature logs falsified. The red and white logo may promise health, but what's inside their seafood freezer? Poor oversight, dangerous chemicals, and risk no pharmacy should ever sell. Number 8, Dollar General. In towns where grocery stores have vanished, Dollar General steps in. It's fast, cheap, and everywhere a lifeline for older Americans in rural areas. But their seafood, that's where the danger hides. Much of what's sold as fish barely qualifies as real seafood. Dollar General's breaded sticks and frozen patties often contain less than 50% actual fish. The rest is fillers, MSG, and preservatives like TBHQ, a chemical banned in other countries for links to DNA damage. In 2022, testing revealed some Dollar General fish patties contained propylene glycol used in antifreeze and over 1,000 milligrams of sodium per serving. For seniors with high blood pressure or kidney issues, that's a silent threat. Worse, Dollar General offers zero sourcing information. No policies, no transparency, no oversight. You don't know where the fish came from, and neither do they. The price may be low, but the cost to your health far too high. Number 9. Winco Foods. Winco makes you feel in control. You bag your own food, buy in bulk, and trust the savings. But their seafood section, that's where control ends and risk begins. In 2021, Idaho health officials cited Winco for storing raw seafood at unsafe temperatures and allowing exposed packaging to contact unsanitized surfaces. Bulk frozen bins often mix products, inviting cross-contamination. The labels often blank or misleading. Watchdog groups found Alaskan pollock sourced from Russian trawlers and wild shrimp mixed with aquaculture additives. One FDA case. Winco's Pangasius from Vietnam tested positive for formaldehyde, a cancer-causing preservative. Customer complaints echo the same warning: thawed shrimp smelling sour, slimy fillets, and fish causing foodborne illness. Yet Winco publishes no sourcing policies, no traceability reports, and joins no national seafood safety programs. It's cheap, yes, but when the fish turns your stomach or worse, what are you really saving? Number 10. 99 Ranch Market. It looks fresh. It smells authentic. It feels like a fish market done right. But behind the tanks and bustle, 99 Ranch Market is hiding a serious seafood problem, one that can put your health at real risk. In 2021, LA County inspectors cited multiple locations for thawing frozen fish at room temperature, creating breeding grounds for deadly listeria, a pathogen especially dangerous to older adults. In 2020, tests found shrimp and catfish with high levels of mercury, arsenic, and cadmium toxic metals that build up over time and damage the brain, kidneys, and nerves. The labels don't trust them. Investigators found red snapper was often dyed as lobster, and grouper turned out to be escargot, a cheap fish that can cause intense digestive distress. Even live tanks are unsafe. Whistleblowers report overcrowding, sick fish in dirty water, and insanity. The location shut down after inspectors found rotting sea. Tests. Authenticity means nothing if the danger is real. At 99 Ranch, the biggest thing you might take home isn't flavor, it's illness. What you thought was safe might be poisoning